Hey everyone, this is Ray with Timonos 2010. It's the end of my day. I've just come home from work. It's been a long day. I've maybe worked a little longer than I should have, but I'm going out of town tomorrow, and so I was wanting to make up for some of the hours that I won't be in the office. I wanted to talk a little bit about the day that I've just had and some of the thoughts that I have about preparing for the traveling that I'm going to be doing. Basically, this morning when I woke up, I was tired because I stayed up a little too late last night, and I've been thinking about how important it is for a healthy lifestyle and for a healthy body for me to try to get regular sleep every night, that's part of wellness and it's a part of self-care, and those little practices can mean a lot when it comes time to to weigh whether or not I've been taking care of my body. And I don't mean that as in weighing to find out what the physical number is, but I think those things take a toll and they add up. So the more that I can do to practice self-care and wellness in my whole life, then I think the better the results will be on the scale or in terms of feeling healthy. Certainly today when I woke up, I felt very tired, and that was one of the clues that I need to really pay attention to that if I want to set myself up for success, which is exactly what I want to do and is my goal and my mission here. Then it's important for me to get in bed at a decent hour and probably keep a pretty consistent schedule of when I go to bed and when I wake up. My schedule is working 4 10-hour days and then having 3 days off. And I have a tendency on those 3 days to want to play and stay up late and work on projects and push myself because I've been working so hard during the week. And when I work during the week, I push myself and push myself and push myself. So to get some kind of balance, I do the same thing during the days that I have off. And I think that just is not the healthiest thing I could be doing for myself. So note to self, get a lot of good balanced sleep. So that was one thing that I was thinking about this morning. The second thing is that I was trying to weigh the pros and cons of taking lunch with me today. Since I didn't get up early enough to fix a meal, I thought I could come home for lunch because I have a long lunch. But one of the things that I give up if I do that is some of the socializing that I really enjoy with my coworkers. And I've talked before in my last video about how important connections were to me. And so going home and making a meal would mean that I wasn't going to get to hang out and talk shop with some really cool coworkers, people that I like to hang out with, people that energize me and keep me feeling good about my job. And I think that's important. I have a really high stress job, and so it's important for me to have someone to vent to and to be able to laugh with my coworkers, and that's also part of self-care, I think. So I had to decide what I was going to do as far as lunch, and there's a restaurant that we go to sometimes, and one of the salads there is a very large portion of greens, not iceberg lettuce, but something a little greener than that, and a part of a chicken breast that's charbroiled, excuse me, avocado, tomatoes, croutons, and however much dressing that I want. That's really what I wanted to eat. But with the avocado and the dressing and probably some cheese on it and croutons, the more I thought about it, the more I thought that probably wasn't the healthiest thing for me to eat. But I was craving protein. So I decided that it would be a good choice to maybe just have the chicken. And it didn't have any sauce on it. It was just plain grilled chicken. but it was very, very good. And I didn't know we were going to go to lunch there today, but that's what I hoped to eat. And in the end, that's what ended up happening. That's where my coworkers wanted to go. And so I knew exactly what I was going to eat. I kind of made my mind up. If that's where we went, that's what I would eat. If we went somewhere else, I would try to make the best decision that I could, given the circumstances. And I think just about any place I went, I could make a pretty good low-fat, low-sugar, high-fiber choice for the most part. But what I really wanted was the chicken. And that's what I got. So that was kind of exciting. The other thing I've been thinking about is the trip that I'm getting ready to go on. It's just a day, well, not a day trip. It's an overnight trip. I'll be going with one of my coworkers. And I've noticed that as I was preparing for this trip, which hasn't been a lot of preparation, I was thinking that I really wanted to take food with me. But I was feeling kind of shy about that. I was feeling shy about saying, you know, these are some of the choices that I want to make. Some of the food choices that I make when I eat healthy are very different from the standard American diet. You know, I'm choosing to eat more raw foods. I'm choosing to eat more vegetarian, even though more vegetarian meals, I guess I should say, because I still do eat meat. But I eat less meat than I used to, and I eat less meat than most of my coworkers do. So, in thinking about going on this trip, I'm kind of torn. I have part of me that's saying, you know, it would be great if I made some meals or took some snacks, that would be a really good thing for me. And yet, I'm feeling shy about doing that with my coworker, and saying, you know, this is what I want. And again, you know, that's a big clue as to how comfortable I am with self-care. It's a big clue as to my self-confidence. And so those are some things that I need to work on. I don't expect that this trip I'm going to be perfect, but it's real exciting to know that these are things that need to be worked on, and that they're coming up to the forefront for me, and that I can, you know, begin to think about them. So definitely, you know, maybe journaling when I have some off time during my trip might be a good thing to do. I am making plans to do a few things that I think will be positive. I don't want to eat chips on the way up, and so I'm going to be sort of toasting some tortillas that I have that are low fat, high fiber. They're Ezekiel tortillas, and if I just grill them a little bit and they get a little crunchy, then I really like those. I'm also planning on making a kind of chocolate bar that's made with 100% raw cacao that I add stevia to, and I just melt it and lay it out on wax paper, and so I'm planning on doing that. I'm also probably going to take a lot of water with me. I have a tendency when I travel to have edema or swelling in my legs, and so these are some ways that that I'm going to try to battle that. And maybe the most important thing that I'm going to do tomorrow, if I can get to sleep early enough tonight, I want to wake up in the morning and take a walk, even if it's a short walk, to say, yes, I am continuing with the exercising that I started this weekend. And, you know, even if it's a short walk, getting outside, moving my body has got to be one of the best things that I can do for myself. So I've said it, I've committed to it, it's out, you know, I'll let you know in my next video if I do it, but that's what I'm hoping to do. Well, I want to say goodnight, and I'll check in with you after my trip. I might take my video camera with me and document a little bit on the way, but no promises there. And I hope that you're having a good time and a good evening or a good day whenever it is that you're watching this. And I hope that you're having a blessed life with lots of beautiful soul making. It's good to talk to you. It's good to connect with you. Take care. Good night.